Like, we should just go fully into like our primal urges. Like, in this world, why are we not? Why are we not? If you're like me and don't have a religion but feel the need for something in your life to feel more spiritual, but you're not necessarily drawn to any modern spiritual practices, then this might help you. But as I was saying, honestly, I made this video for me, so yeah. If you are under 18, I don't want you on my YouTube account. Please leave. I am not okay for kids. I don't want kids. I'm not having kids. Please go away. And it's for your own safety. Okay, thank you. Hi everybody, I'm Celestina Blooms. I'm sure that you've seen the title. So today we're going to be talking about divine madness and Dionysus and basically modern society and like how it all like fits together. And like I'm basically just making this video for myself. I am not an expert, okay? Okay, all right. So a little free ASMR. All right, cool. Anyway, yes, as I was saying, take everything that I'm about to say with a grain of salt because I literally just started learning about this just because I'm obsessed with this recently. If I look down, I'm gonna try to edit that out, but I'm looking at the notes on my phone. Okay, because I can only hold so many thoughts in my head at once. Divine madness, what the fuck is that? Well, apparently there's a version of it in like almost every religion, but I suppose in this video I'm mostly going to be talking about like the Greek version. Apparently like Plato talked a lot about divine mania, which he had like multiple different categories for it. I literally just skimmed, so like feel free to do your own research. But for this video I might switch back and forth between like calling it madness and mania, but I'm not talking about like mental disorders. I'm referring to the mania that is supposed to be divine inspiration, essentially. They had, you know, the god Dionysus along with many other gods, and Dionysus is like the god of intoxication, divine madness. I don't really know, like you have to look it up. I did only very basic research for this video, but they had like this specific like festival that was like devoted to Dionysus. I don't know how to say the name of this festival. I believe it was called Beccia, I don't know. So that was the festival where they all essentially are, as like the ritual, they're like losing their minds, like intentionally giving into their instinct. So this festival was meant to be a tribute to the god Dionysus, who is the god of wine and agriculture, ecstasy and festivals and wild frenzy. And like the god, he's also the god of like theater and just like religious ecstasy, ritual madness, liberation, freedom from inhibitions, and freedom from self-consciousness. And he's also the god of transformation, and yeah, as I said, of course, the god of madness. But yeah, so okay, so why am I talking about this? Like, why am I stumbling through this topic that I barely know anything about? I just have a very surface level understanding of, but I am still so fascinated by it. So like, why am I making a video about it? Because we are living in an age of decadence. I recently learned the word decadence, and like at first I thought it meant essentially like excess, and it can be related to that. But it's actually about decay. We're in a world of excess and decay. We're like essentially kind of like what the Roman Empire was when it was like at its peak before it was like gonna descend. Kind of, I've heard it referred to that way. But yeah, it's obvious in every part of society. Like we all know this. This isn't news. The fact that there's nothing shocking anymore, the fact that there was literally a naked woman on the red carpet, there's nowhere else to go. Does that make sense? Like that's what I'm getting at. You see it in like media, how like there's hardly anything new coming out. It's there. People are just kind of regurgitating the same like concepts. I mean, that's always happened since ancient Egypt, but like you get what I'm saying, where like it's just remakes of remakes, and like people have pointed out like other similarities to like the Roman Empire. I keep bringing up Greece and Rome, but anyway, in that time, the emperors were like, oh, the people won't rebel if we give them like bread and circuses, and that's like still kind of like a parallel to today. But anyway, what I'm trying to get at is that we live in a hedonistic society. Like it's a society of decay, but it's hedonistic, and that is a sign that it's in decay. A little bit, unless we're in a utopia, but like you guys let me know if you think that. Yeah, it's a society of hedonism and just endless entertainment, where entertainment is honestly like the new like religion, except it's not quite as good as, it doesn't tickle the same part of the brain as religion, but you get what I'm saying, where like our celebrities have become our gods and blah blah blah, like this is not news, we all know these things. But honestly, I think we could be taking this a step further. Like, how can we be in like such a decadent hedonistic society and not be taking it this extra step? Like, we could be having so much more fun with what is happening. We like the fact that there are these parallels, but the decadence and hedonism in our day-to-day lives is just so ingrained that we're numb to it. Like we are so overstimulated by all this pleasure coming at us from every angle, and we don't even feel it. Like we're not fully living the hedonistic life that I feel like this current, society kind of calls for at this point. Like if we're in a descent, we should be like going fully into the hedonism and the the excess, the decadence, the madness. We should be going insane, but having fun with it. Like, why are we not? You get what I'm getting at? Like, we're lucky enough to live in this time where we have all these things and where we are right before the decline. If there's going to be a decline, I don't know that there's going to be an actual decline. Maybe it's a plateau. Who knows? Like, fingers crossed that like our society, like at least on some level, continues so that like it doesn't feel like a total apocalypse. But like I don't really know. I was raised by a doomsday prepper, so like take that part of what I'm saying with a grain of salt. Hopefully it's not the end of the world. But either way, we all know that certain things are in decline, and we all know we live in a hedonistic world. So yes, like I'm saying, we're lucky enough to live in this time, and like for a while I thought that I needed to be like trying to make a difference, to like change the world, but at a certain point we kind of just need to accept that we're along for the ride, and I think that we could all embrace that a little bit. So what I'm talking about in this video is essentially the philosophy that I've chosen to embrace, essentially to stay sane in this world. Just because I'm like currently having trouble like glancing down at my phone to like word by word say what I wrote, and I've been paraphrasing, I'm just going to read this part that I wrote for how I wanted to explain this in the video. In a world so corrupted and dull, so twisted and disconnected, in my opinion, sometimes the only way to feel human again, to feel alive and full of joy, is to intentionally go insane. Now, disclaimer. Okay, now, I am not trying to glorify mental illness. Mental illness is a horrible thing that, first of all, happens to a person, and someone can't choose. You can't choose to be mentally ill, to be clinically mentally ill, to have like a mental illness. I'm also not glorifying harming others. Neither of these things are what I'm talking about. Okay. Yeah. All the things I'm talking about should be done with caution, especially if you have mental disorders. Especially mental disorders that could make impulse control or like perception of reality challenging. Yeah, so caution. Okay, if you go too far, not trying to be held responsible for what I'm going to talk about in this video. Cool. Now, as I was saying before, I'm talking about madness in the philosophical sense and kind of the spiritual sense. Like the mania from the gods, essentially, or like divine inspiration or just inspiration in general. Something that feels like it comes from within you and you don't really know like where it came from, you know, or like it feels bigger than you, or like it just came upon you, you know. But also like so many religions have a version of divine madness, you know, like I'm talking about like, yes, there are so many religions where someone will like go on a spiritual journey, and part of it is they will intentionally put themselves into mental states that from an outsider perspective look like a mental disorder, except it's not, because they can come out of it, or they do eventually come out of it, or they like put themselves in it intentionally and try to stay there. You know, like there's many different versions. You get what I'm saying? Where it's like a kind of quote-unquote madness, mania, that looks like a mental disorder, isn't a mental disorder. I'm talking about the parts of being human that we like suppress because they're either too animalistic or too illogical. And I'm calling it madness, like I said, because it can look like that from an outsider perspective, but also just because all these like references kind of call it that. So yeah, madness and divine, because I think it can be like a beautiful expression of that deeper like need. If you're like me and don't have a religion but feel the need for something in your life to feel more spiritual, but you're not necessarily drawn to any modern spiritual practices, then this might help you. But as I was saying, honestly, I made this video for me, so yeah. Okay, back to what I was saying about how we could be taking this decadent life further. The fun part. Okay, here are 5 things I think we should be doing to embrace divine madness, to have more fun with this insane life we're living, and this only, in theory, life that we have, right? Okay. These are not in any specific order. Okay, number 1, ritualism. Now, this one, first of all, I took a lot of inspiration from Heaven Sent Honey. I mentioned her in another video. She talks about sensualism and lots of stuff. I learned a lot from her. Go watch her channel, her YouTube channel, Heaven Sent Honey. This is kind of inspired by her. So ritualism, it can be things that are mundane. Even if you don't believe the ritual is doing anything, it's not about that. This is my summary that I wrote. It's the action of the ritual itself, okay? It's not about you're doing a ritual to try to make something happen like Wicca. Like if you're also, Wiccan, then obviously you already incorporate a lot of ritual into your life. But I'm talking about the ritual part without necessarily, you don't have to have the belief of that it's doing anything. It's just the ritual, the act of the ritual itself. Like I said, Heaven Sent Honey, go watch her channel. I've taken so much inspiration from her, like literally so much. Okay. Do rituals at like certain times of year. You could do rituals at certain times of day, or you could do a ritual to like celebrate something important in your life, or like about a certain theme. It could be basket weaving. Like it could be a ritual of basket weaving. It doesn't matter. It's about that you do it cyclically, like, because you have to be dedicated to keep up with that. So again, I'm making this video for me so that I can hopefully try to do this, because I'm bad at this. I'm bad at like sticking to a plan, but this will help me in theory if I can like start doing it. But whatever it is, treat it with respect and obsession, because that is the point of the mania part. This it's about the action, and you are putting yourself into it. Just become obsessed with it. It could be basket weaving, like I said. It doesn't matter. Whatever you pick, ritualize it. So I'll talk later at the end of the video about like the things that I'm like starting to like ritualize, or like maybe what I'll choose. I don't know. Make it important. Give it significance in your life. You will look insane, and that's okay. All the better. Number two, embracing your sexual urges. Remember what I was saying before. Have common sense. Don't hurt anyone, and please obviously follow consent. Okay, cool. Yes, like I was saying, this is one that I think should be embraced so much more in our current society. Like, we could be having so many more orgies, you know? Like, just group everything, like, together. Like, why are we not doing that? We have the ability to do that. People can get tested. Like, people are fucking already, but everybody's just so disconnected from each other. Like, we should all just be fucking, you know? Like, we should just go fully into, like, our primal urges. Like, in this world, why are we not? If you have kinks or weird turn-ons, I think you should not only explore that, but I think you should, like, dive head first into that to see, like, how far it goes. Honestly, like, yes, these are some of the ones that are very specific to me and I think are so relevant in our society, and people are already doing them. I think we could be embracing them a little more, though, you know? Number 3, overanalyze your thoughts. This is one that I do with journaling, but it feels so good to just, like, follow a train of thought so far that you can see yourself almost from, like, an outsider's perspective, and then you can get, like, wisdom that way. And, like, and just, like, you're just going, like, further and further into a thought. And, like I said, this could be bad. All of these can be bad. That's why I said with caution. With self-awareness, this one can be really cool. It can be spiritual, it could be philosophical, it could just be, like, random for creativity, for amusement, but, like, following a train of thought essentially, like, into itself. Like, you know how you look at, like, an image that is, like, pointed at a mirror or something, and it's an image within an image within an image, to just, like, keep going into that thought that way can actually be really rewarding. That's what I found with, like, journaling. I've been doing this, and it has helped me see myself so much more, like, clearly, honestly. But also, it is very much an insane thing to do. Number 4, be weird. This one is similar to number 2, like following sexual urges, because this one is also just about following your urges. It could be that you are, like, walking down the street and you just get the urge to, like shiver like that, like a dog, shake like a dog or something. Like, do it. Just follow your weird urges. The super weirdness. Like, this is one that I'm trying to ingrain into myself, because I feel like I, like, hold myself back so much, and I feel like it gets in the way of me, like, being in the headspace I want to be in, like, to be in just, like, a better mood, to be more present, to be more in my body. I feel like I don't do this enough, and most people don't do this enough, that we should just be weird and follow our weird urges. And, like, this could be weird interests. I'm talking about things that you stop yourself from doing because they're not socially acceptable. Yeah, like, but the things that are socially acceptable don't make sense. You know, maybe you want to wear a medieval, like, outfit and then go scream at the moon or something. Do it! Whatever it is, it should come from you. That's the point. Like, it's an urge from you, not, like, you know, doing what everybody else is doing, because that's what we're already doing. Like, this is mania. Number 5, feel. Feel your body, feel your emotions, feel your surroundings. Like, feel. Like, people are so detached. Like, there's so much like pleasure from everywhere and nobody's feeling it. And everything is so repetitive and all these things. But like, we just need to like feel it more. And like, I'm saying again, making this video for myself, I like feeling all emotions. I like feeling sadness, like, you know, happiness is one that I struggle with feeling sometimes because I don't feel it fully, you know? Like, we just need to feel it intensely, feel it hard. And like, if you're actually experiencing pleasure, just to feel it, you know? This is obviously a thing that I have some experience in, but yeah. You exist. Don't just express your feelings. Like, let them like spread out through your whole body, down to your core. Like, don't let them just like sit on the surface. Like, feel everything like deep down through your body, like through it. Like, it's so cleansing to just let an emotion just like intensely take you over and pass through you. And it's not just emotions, like I said, sensations. Because I have in the past like been a very dissociative person. This is so important for me. I feel like in this video I've just been talking about like the very generalized versions of these things, and I guess that is like, you know, kind of how you make a YouTube video. But it, like, I'm not even scratching the surface of this topic and why it feels so important to me. In my life, it is so applicable in my life because I live a very hedonistic life because of like the job I have chosen, but also not just when I'm at work. Like, I'm trying to incorporate this into my daily life because I think it would be good for my sanity, which sounds really weird to say. But like, the ways that I apply this, feeling, obviously, that one's obvious because if you know what I do, I didn't say what I did at the beginning of this video, but like, if you don't know what I do, you'll figure it out. Like, if you have seen me anywhere online, seen any of my other YouTube videos, you may have heard me mention bimboification, and I was wondering how that fit into like my personal life and how it was compatible with my need for spirituality or something, and discovering divine madness and like the Dionysian lifestyle and also heaven sent honey sensualism. Like, all of these things are like coming together to make so much sense in my head. Like, bimboification for me is largely a mental thing, and it's about like following a thought and going fully into it. And it's a thought of no thoughts, but it's a thought of like being in this certain headspace, a certain headspace that is not sane, but it feels divine when I'm in it. I get a religious bliss from it, especially, and not just bimboification, also kink. Like, when I am in an extreme level of submission, then, or even not even an extreme level, just like a little bit of a level of submission, I feel like I am descending into a religious like madness, essentially. And like, all of these things, like I'm saying, all these things that I was talking about in this video are just so already ingrained in my life. And so it's so amazing to find these like existing like philosophies and realize I can apply them to my life. I hope maybe this video is helpful for somebody. Yeah, so that's basically the end of the video. So if you made it this far, amazing. Please leave a like and comment and subscribe and watch my other YouTube videos. yeah, I feel like I wasn't fully in like a bimbo headspace when making this video, but I also wasn't really able to memorize the stuff that I wrote, and I had to read from my phone a lot, so maybe I was kind of in a bimbo headspace. I hope this video was entertaining for somebody, but yeah. All right, cool. Thank you. Bye-bye.